Hey, set your mind right now. Nothing before this matters. We came here with everything still on the line. Everything you wanted in the offseason is still out in front of you. What would you give for that moment right now? Let's go, man.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
Yo, what is good with y'all, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex. I am back with yet another video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about the NFL Draft Scouting Combine, the 40-yard dash, specifically with the wide receivers, and giving my thoughts and opinions on it, how this affects our team, certain players, whether that's going to boost their stock, decrease their stock, how that affects our team, that sort of thing. But for anybody that is new to the channel, you guys know what to do. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, when it comes to the 40-yard dash, I will say I do think it's a little bit overrated, just because you've seen some guys have some impressive ass 40-yard dash times, and that didn't translate to the success in the National Football League. And then you also seen a guy like Jerry Rice, who had a 4.6, which it's decent, not great, and he ended up being the best wide receiver of all time. So these 40-yard dashes, don't just solely rely on that. They're like a nice metric to look at to confirm speed, in my opinion. But like I said, they can be a little bit overrated. But with that being said, let's just talk about some of the 40-yard dash times with these wide receivers. So yeah, when it comes to this 40-yard dash, man, the one name that stands out is Chris Olave. Holy shit, 4.2. That guy he just jumped out of the gates. He looked explosive as hell. I was surprised. I thought he was gonna do like a 4.4. Damn, man. It seems like he's a little bit faster than I thought he was, and I think he's just a very good runner, very smooth runner, really good at route running. I think this boosts him to one of the best receivers in this draft class. Another important name to talk about is Treylon Burks. He ran a 4.55. It's a good time. Honestly, I had a feeling he was going to run. If he would have ran like a sub 4.4, I would have been like, damn, this guy for sure is not going to be there in the first round, at pick 22 for us. His draft stock, I don't know. I think it really didn't get boosted a whole lot. Like I said, if he would have ran a better time, then yeah, I think he would have for sure been skyrocketed. I still see him being a first round, don't get me wrong. But yeah, watching these 40-yard dash times, it just reminded me of how many options there are at the wide receiver position in this year's draft. Another guy we definitely have to talk about is Christian Watson. Holy shit, man, this guy just before even he ran today, I mean, this guy's a physical monster. He's 6'4", 208 pounds, and to run a 4.28, that is, holy shit, man, that is super impressive. His draft stock definitely rise, in my opinion. In the past, we've seen that he was kind of third, a second round guy. I think for sure he's a second rounder now. I don't see him getting to the third round at all. Possibly a late first rounder, in my opinion. Wow, one guy that the time that I wasn't very impressed with was David Bell. He's a 4.6 40, which I mean, like I said in my video, I did say he lacks that elite speed. I was still hoping that we get at least a 4.5. Look, I still think he's a good prospect, but I think maybe his draft stock may have decreased a little bit. He was kind of possibly a late first rounder. I think he's gonna be a second rounder now with this time, but I still really like his abilities as a wide receiver. A couple other names to not sleep on is Wan'Dale Robinson. He got a 4.3, but man, when he was running that, I thought he was going to get the 4.2. He just looked super explosive coming out of the gates on that, and he's definitely a nice slot receiver that could potentially fall to our laps. I still see this guy as probably like a third rounder, so that would be a very good spot for him if he fell to us. Another guy who I think his draft definitely rose just a little bit is George Pickens. We all know we've been kind of concerned about the injury that he's coming off of, but man, to run a 4.4, coming off an injury where he hasn't played, in a pretty long time, that's very impressive. That just shows that he can confirm to other teams that he still's got that speed, and it's definitely a guy to look at. I think he's going to be for sure a second rounder. I still don't see him creeping into that first round. But that's definitely another option that could potentially be there in the second round, and he might be a first round talent just because, like I said, that injury is dropping his stock from being that first round talent. But he might be one of the best receivers in this draft. So yeah, Raider Nation, there was a lot of good 40 times done in this year's draft that affected some people's stocks. Some it definitely rose them, some of them it kind of just kept them in the same spot, in my opinion. But man, the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking that in the first round maybe we just don't take a wide receiver, even if Treylon Burks is there. Don't get me wrong, I like Treylon Burks, but when you think of the other needs this team needs, like defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, those are all team needs that we have. And in this year's draft, I mean, I feel like in all those positions, it's a little bit top heavy, man. But you compare that with the wide receiver, man, this draft class, man, there are so many fucking options, man. You got the people that could be there in the second round, like Christian Watson, George Pickens. You got some third round guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe Khalil Shakir is there. Those sort of names. There's also late round guys that could potentially be sleepers for this team. You also got to consider that we might, if those rumors are true that we're gonna pursue Allen Robinson or Chris Godwin, then if we get one of those guys, then receiver doesn't become like the biggest need on this team, in my opinion. So yeah, Raider Nation, those are my initial thoughts and opinions on the 40-yard dash times that we saw from these wide receivers today. Like I said, there's a lot of impressive numbers that definitely surprised me, that definitely rose some of these players' stocks. You guys let me know in the comments down below, which player were you most impressed with today, and also let me know, are you guys with me on my thoughts and opinions on the first round, that maybe it'd be best for this team that we don't select a wide receiver, instead we look for a wide receiver in the later rounds. Let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, with that being said, that is all I have for you guys in this video. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel and you guys love Raiders related content like this, make sure to subscribe. With that being said, I am out. I will see you guys in the next one.